Word, son. What do you do, YouTube? It's your boy, Jadavon. All right, man. So this is like the sixth take now. Excuse me. This is like the sixth take now. So, make sure y'all sit back, chill, take a pee break, pause the video, get you some popcorn, because you know how I do. Yes, you can tell by the gameplay, as you can see in the title. I had to go back and revisit Call of Duty Ghosts, man, because I don't know where we are with this whole Black Ops 4 thing and the direction the community is trying to take not Battlefield, Call of Duty. And me personally, I'm not for it. If you see my last video, you know where I stand on Black Ops 4 as of right now. But I had to go reload Call of Duty Ghosts, and for a game that I canceled so quick because it wasn't a Modern Warfare style type game, even though like it still tried to stay in that environment, but the core gameplay mechanics wasn't there as far as the map style goes. I think we canceled this game a little too quick, and then now that we have this Black Ops 4 thing with all the stuff that we have in Black Ops 4 now, and then with the time to kill and the whole extra health thing, and where we are now in the Call of Duty community is just, it's just like it has everybody split. Like, I know I'm on the side of Call of Duty, like we need another Modern Warfare. We need a Modern Warfare 4 or a Modern Warfare 2 remaster. You know what I mean? So one thing I will say, now we're gonna get to the video. I was a little tangent, off on a little tangent, but one thing I will say about Call of Duty Ghosts, when I noticed off the rip, was that the time to kill was a lot shorter. And when I got my first kill after loading the game up, after not playing it for so long, when I finally got my first kill, and I literally took a deep breath and just exhaled, because I was just like, thank God I didn't have to waste so much ammo to kill this guy. Like, you know what I mean? As you can see, I'm holding 30 in the clip right now. I'm holding 30. It doesn't take me, if my aim is spot on, if my aim is spot on, it doesn't take me so many hits. I would say maybe 5 or 6 hits, maybe 4, maybe 3. I don't know, depending on how close or how far I am, or depending on where I'm hitting him. But it didn't take so long to get a kill off of him, because he only has 100 health. He doesn't have 150 health or this or somewhat of a not ballistic vest, but like this armor that protects him from everything that he gets hit with. You know what I mean? So it just felt so refreshing to play a core Call of Duty game, like off the heels of Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, and didn't have to worry about playing a game where a guy can get a second chance if I shoot him in the back because of the extra health. You know what I mean? It felt so refreshing to actually play a game that didn't require that. You know? So another thing I will say that I noticed too, if you watched my last video, I talked about aiming in Black Ops 4, because I've always been a firm believer of fine tuning your aim. Not saying that you should go in the settings and fiddle around the settings and find your right setting. I'm talking about taking the right stick and literally just feathering the right stick enough for you to just move your aim a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, a little bit up, a little bit down. You know, like that type of fine tuning. In Black Ops 4, I don't get that, because the dead zones are too high. So with the dead zones being either too high or too low, whichever the terminology goes, but the dead zones are so messed up that if I try to fine tune it, it won't give me the fine tuning that I need, because the dead zones are messed up. So once I start trying to fine tune it, I realize that I'm not moving anything, and I start panicking because the guy's in front of me and he's shooting me and he's hitting me. I start to basically over aim and start spraying and praying, because I need to hurry to get this kill, because I don't want to die to this dude where I literally had him dead to rights. So I have to worry about that, and it just becomes a big headache over time. So when I popped in Call of Duty Ghosts and started playing it, the aiming was a lot more snappier. Like, you know, like if I could fine tune my aim. It was a lot more snappier than what it was on Black Ops. You know what I mean? The aiming felt 1-to-1. That's what it felt like. I didn't feel any like slack or any kind of latency issues behind aiming or trying to fine tune my aim. Everything felt 1-to-1. Everything felt together. You know, it felt tight, snappy. You know, inside joke. So another thing I will say, I feel like we canceled Call of Duty Ghosts way too quickly. I might have said that earlier in the video, but I really mean that, man, because what I want to know is how do we get from this type of game style, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1, World at War, how do we get from that formula of Call of Duty to this futuristic exosuit, 150 health, manual health regeneration, ballistic armor? Where do we go wrong? You know, from my understanding is that we want a different Call of Duty game, which I'm all for that. You know, change it up. You know, mix the bag every once in a while, but don't deviate from the core Call of Duty formula. Don't deviate from that. You know, where did they get off making these guns to where they, quote unquote, wanted them to have their own signature feeling to them? They wanted their own, you know, they wanted guns that have their own dynamic feeling to them. They wanted them to be more dynamic. You know, no more we have to worry about, you know, dying too fast. The time to kill is a lot lower, either low or higher, whatever they said. They changed the time to kill, the whole 150 health thing. Like, who asked for that? I didn't ask for that. The only thing I can think of is the little kids who kept getting melted every time they went around the corner because they just wanted to replicate what they seen off their favorite YouTuber's YouTube channel off of a video, and they kept getting melted by somebody who's actually better than them. So they wanted to compensate that, and with them compensating that, we, the OG players of Call of Duty, we gotta pay for that now. You know what I mean? Like the whole issue with hit registering, which I'm pretty sure in Ghosts it had its issues, if I'm not mistaken. I think it did. But it wasn't too game breaking to the point where it made me start questioning my own gameplay, because you know I can go up against a guy maybe 7 times, and out of those 7 times I might get him maybe 4, maybe 5 times, maybe a 6th time, but that's because the hit registering or the net coding wasn't there all the way. But it wasn't too game breaking to the point where, okay, something needs to be done here. You know what I mean? So I can't get with the whole with Treyarch's. I know these are two different companies, but we're just talking about just Call of Duty as a whole, the game as a whole, with each franchise that drop, with each game that drop. But like, where do we get off with this whole net coding issue? We kicking down the server tick rates and having inconsistent gameplays, the shoot first, die first. Like, where does that come into play? Like that is legitimately what we have now, and they're still trying to work on that. They claim that them server tick rates are now at 60, but I don't believe it. I'm still having inconsistent gameplays. But the community is so toxic and so dumbfounded that they don't know what they want, and then when they finally do get something, then regardless of its problems, they'll still clown you and tell you you're trash at it. The game's fine, you're just a scrub. But yet these guys are sweating their asses off in every lobby. And me personally, I can't rock with that. Call of Duty Ghosts, I feel like we slept on that way too hard. And I know I did, because I wasn't a big fan of the whole big map thing, because it promoted camping. And Call of Duty, at least when I played it, never promoted that. But you know, I wrote it off because of that. And then now, after seeing what we have now and then going back to playing what we used to play, this game actually was not that bad. It really wasn't that bad. And I really hope that some of y'all actually go back and play Call of Duty Ghosts just to see what we had before we got to where we are now. If Activision is listening, Treyarch, Infinity Ward, whoever, stop deviating from the regular Call of Duty formula, because you're hurting the fan base and you're leaving the community split because they don't know whether they should have this or not have this, whether it's hurting the game or helping the game. We don't even know. So it's leaving a lot of people that used to play Call of Duty, starting from, I would say, World at War, or a little bit before that, all the way up to where we are now. People are really starting to take sides now. You got some people that are like in the middle, some people that are not with it, or some people that are all for it. But you have really got to start weighing your options. If I were you, listen to the OG Call of Duties, the OG Call of Duty fans, the people who've been playing Call of Duty for ages. I started playing Call of Duty back. I started in World at War for a little bit, like tail end of World at War, and then when Modern Warfare 2 dropped, that's when I was like on Call of Duty heavy, and that was where I literally like did my most damage right there, was Modern Warfare 2. So if I were Call of Duty, man, y'all should really start weighing your options and start looking at what y'all need to start looking at in the future. Because this whole 150 health thing, it's not gonna fly. Call of Duty Ghosts was a great game, and I think we slept on that very hard. But I'm going to get up out of here, man. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Maybe y'all feel the same way. Didn't really know I'd be talking for 10 minutes, but however, I'm going to go ahead and end the video, get up out of here. Ooh, excuse me. All right, man. It's your boy Jay Devon, and I'm signing out. Peace.